Thought I would do another little update of life, art, and sickle cell for this channel. I'm still, in the middle of working on coloring books. Finding Your Colors has been out for over a month. Uh, it came out June 14th. So I've been tracking it on this website called um, Novel Track, Novel Rank, novelrank.com. So this is the last 30 days. Some days, you know, it shows that there's like two sales. Like this one was the last time I had a sale was July 27th. Probably two books was sold. And before that was July 23. So you see there's like gaps between the sales. So sale is definitely slowing down. I can show like the first last month for 14 days last month. Last month had so much more activity because it didn't skip days, and some days we I would have like three sales. So it's definitely slowing down. So I think it's time, to release the second book because I don't know. I just keep the momentum going. I mean, that just keeps me encouraged because I just want to keep creating these books. So my next plan is after volume 2 is to create a children's book. This is much harder for me. For some reason, I just find it harder because I feel like, creating for kids is, you know, a little different. I think it would be easier if I had kids of my own and I was around them much more. But it's a little bit difficult just to do the same thing that you did for adults and you just do it for kids. Even though, there are some, you know, parents out there who use this book as is and allow kids to use it because there's nothing really in it that's not for kids. It's just that I wanted to target my audience. My audience was targeted for adults. So I mean, I'm pretty proud of this book. I think it did well for what it is, and for my first try anyway. So I'm just gonna continue to do what I have to do just to keep it going, you know. So my only thing is that since this was my first experience, the first 14 days was like amazing. It just did, 250 sold, but I purchased like maybe 50 books, and I think well, there is a few other people that purchased like 50 books, so I think 150 books I know where the sales came from, but the other 100 was from the community itself. So I think it's pretty cool, but you know, buying them for myself and going to take them to another place to sell, that's sometimes difficult because it takes money up front for me to purchase my own book and then resell them. So, living on disability and living the way I'm living is like, it's not easy just to find money up front and spend money. So it's always easier for me to just like you know, just put it out there because it doesn't cost me much just to get the book on Amazon. But for me to purchase it myself, that's a difficult thing. To bring it to some event and sit at the table, that's even the processing fee for credit cards. That there's a fee there, that you have to pay. So it's an interesting thing. I'm learning. I'm learning. So let's go to the next thing. This is my next book. I think I went with this bright color because it's like, I don't know. I, I left the cover with the first book without any colors on it. And it's just titled Finding Your Colors. There's no colors on the first book cover. It's just a white cover. I could have colored these pieces, but I just thought it was an interesting look. White lines and black. But I didn't want to continue that theme with the second book, so I went with a bright color. So I think the second book cover turned out better. I kind of like this cover better than the first cover. I mean, the back works better, but it's a little bit more simplified, I guess. I don't know. But let's look inside the book because this is my preview copy, my digital proof copy. So if I approve this proof, it could be on Amazon tonight for sale if I want it, or I can wait a few days. I don't know. I might not wait a few days because it doesn't really matter when I release the book. I don't have much marketing money to market it, so it doesn't really matter release dates. So, first page. I don't have names of the acknowledgement thank yous like last book, but I'm still thanking people for supporting and helping me because it's important. I think it's it's because of folks that I'm able to create the things I'm creating. I'm still dealing with a lot of depression in my life, so I think the support of other people have helped me a lot to make it this far. So one thing I hate about putting a lot of text in a book is just like I didn't really use a spell checker. I just used uh, uh, an editor, a photo edit, a graphic. I just used a graphic thing. So that's just difficult when you creating a book and you're just using a graphic software and you write. You're putting a chunk of text down. So there's no spell check on and stuff like that. So I'm hoping I didn't make any mistake because most of the time I'm working on this and it's like 4 a.m. in the morning because I've been up all night. So hopefully I didn't, make any mistakes. The rest of it, I'm not complaining about the paper quality anymore because I kind of got over fussing over that. So, first image, I could have gone with like making these backgrounds and stuff. Checking out the proof online and having it when you get home, it's a very different thing because with this line, it's gonna show where it's gonna get cut off. So I think a physical proof is gonna be better to show what's going on because you're gonna have things cut off that you didn't really want cut off. But like I think this guy's head is gonna be cut off at the top right here. That's gonna suck. It's not something I really want to happen. So maybe I might not. Let me see how many heads I'm cutting off here. This head is not cut off, but the next head is cut off. Yeah, it doesn't matter. This is an interesting thing right here. This is more interesting. This head is gonna get cut off up here. Mhm. That makes a difference. So her head is cut off, and her hand is cut off. More hands cut off. I kind of thought there was more room there. Her hand is close. I have some images that have been requested by friends. So it's not easy using famous images or famous people, characters, because you never know if somebody is gonna look at your drawings and say, "Hey, you can't use my image, or you can't use my face, or type of thing." Because sometimes when you're creating a painting, there's more leg room for you to use images and use, because you're just creating a painting. But if you're drawing something, you can draw it for yourself. But if you put it in a book, that makes it, you know, something that you giving out or selling. And if you're selling it, might be some issues. So my problem right now is not knowing whether or not I'm cutting the heads and areas off. Like you can see where this line reaches this head, and that's okay. But when it's cutting off the head, it's not that good of a thing to happen. I didn't even know I was cutting off so much of it. So the proof is annoying in one way, that there shouldn't be anything cut off. It shouldn't have this part. It should just show how the thing looks. So I'm gonna look at this proof. Thought I had this other proof going on. There's this other proof. Maybe it's gonna show me where these things are cut off at. It doesn't really show. Well, that's what goes into approving and finishing up your book, because you have to look at how it's gonna look on the pages and determine whether or not you want to redo it. Like over here, it doesn't show this guy's head cut off, but it depends, you know. Like over here, it doesn't show her head getting cut off or anything. So it depends. Her hand is close to the edge, and this hand here, I think I'll go with it and take the chance because I can always go back and resubmit, and it doesn't cost me anything anyway. It's just, I think the first, having the first book out, allowing it, allowing it time. Yeah, I just think I'll approve that and let it go live, so I can order a proof, a real book, and see what the difference is. So yeah, let's approve this and be done. So this thing will be on Amazon 3 to 5 days, and Amazon Europe another 3 to 5 days. That's what it says anyway. I don't want to have membership experience thing. I don't want to fill that out or whatever. No survey, thank you. I guess that's it. I'm done with Create Space for now. I have to go to Ingram Sparks next to launch that book because I'm using two publishers, two printers, not publishers. I'm the publisher, but I'm using two printers. My problem with this one is this printer. I have no money from them at all, even though they're the ones who cost me like $40 just to add a book on there. But I have no, I have no sales from them at all. They are the ones who send my book to Barnes and Noble and other kind of places, bookstores like that. I don't know. I don't know why I have no sales from them, but I guess that's the normal part of things. Yeah. So that's all for you know life, art, and sickle cell. And these are my this is my coloring book, Finding Your Colors, and that's the series I'm working on. So the next task is to try to get some stuff for Little Warriors children books. Focus on that for the next month or so. I'm going to be in speaking starting September, then October. I'm going to be traveling a little bit, going to conferences and stuff. So I'll be out there. I wish you all peace.